everyone, I'm Kaitlin.
And I'm Jillian.
And we are the hosts of the OK Drama podcast,
where two friends recap and break down K-dramas one episode at a time.
One episode.
Technically, though, we kind of do two, right?
Yeah, I wrote that when we only did one episode.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, we should change it up. But then I thought maybe it can mean one podcast episode.
Yeah. And technically, we're still, like, breaking down episodes by themselves. Just
this is true.
Within the episode, we have two of them.
Yeah. Just don't think about it too hard.
Yeah. Basically, we just can't stop watching. So.
Exactly. I think about that song from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend where the, like, girls are singing to Rebecca about, like, loving yourself, but also, like, whatever, getting piercings and wearing heels.
Oh, uh-huh.
And they're like, don't think about it too hard, too hard. And I think that to myself a lot.
This is the second episode in a row that has referenced Crazy Ex-Girlfriends.
I know. I love it so much.
It's a good show.
I miss it.
Yeah, same.
It is. Before we jump into the actual content of episodes 7 and 8 of Itaewon Class, I did have a little I Know That Guy part 2. Or, hey, I know that guy part 2.
Hey, who's that guy?
So I just wanted to share because I'm like, these people look so freaking familiar. So Lee Ho-jin, played by David Kim, did he look familiar to you?
No.
Okay, well, he played
I still don't know who that is.
Okay, he played So Ji-won in Hotel de Luna. He played like that bad guy.
Oh, the one that like murdered people?
Exactly.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, your face. Where have I seen it before?
Didn't recognize it.
And then yeah. It takes me a bit and I'm like, do I just think I recognize you like Alex or do I actually recognize you?
Yeah, I'm like the complete opposite of Alex. I don't recognize anyone. I have like face dysmorphia or something. I don't remember anyone.
Yeah. Are you like that, like, in everything? Like, not just K-dramas, but...
No,
like,
I don't know. I've never really thought about it. But, like, anytime you bring up, like, this person was also in there, I'm like, I don't remember them. That doesn't look like them. Like, the dad from Bong Soon, I'm still watching him on here, and I'm just like, that's him? But I haven't, like, gone back and watched Bong Soon either. Like, you've seen Bong Soon a few times, and I only watched it that one time. And I know he looked different on there.
Yeah, if maybe, like, you're slightly more focused on the subtitles than,
probably,
like, taking
honestly.
in people's faces.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it sometimes, like, I can catch myself, like, not even looking at the actual acting and just, like, reading what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. You're kind of, like, glancing up and down. Mostly reading with slight glances up.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is.
Let's go with that. But yeah, when Alex walked by and I told, like, when I was watching Itaewon, and I was like, that's Bong Soon's dad. He was like, where's his tracksuit? That was his response. And I was like, well, now he's a richy rich, terrible person. So, okay. Number 2, my sweet baby angel Gunsu, played by Kim Dong-hee, is also in Sky Castle, which I have not finished. And I haven't talked to Cousin David in, like, months. So I'm going to have to get back on that. And he's in the new show called Extracurricular on Netflix. My mom said it's really good. It's kind of dark. I think it's about, don't quote me on this, but I think it's about, like, this kid who's, like, trying to get money for school, and he, like, starts doing some shady things.
Okay.
So I think he's the lead in that. But, yeah, and then I had a third one that I didn't write down for some reason, but I think it's because she's, like, not a major character as of yet. Yiso's mom plays a queen But now I'm like blanking on which drama she's in, which historical drama.
Mm-hmm.
She's in. She plays a queen in a historical drama. There you go.
Okay. Your job to find out, guys.
Yeah, she looks so familiar. I kept thinking she looks so familiar, and I'm like, but I picture her being more like having a more important role or something. And then I was like, oh yeah, because she played a freaking queen. That's why I pictured her having so much more, I guess, regality, regalness. But anyway, that was my I know that guy part 2.
Cool.
Yes. So anything else we want to talk about before we jump in?
I don't think so.
Okay. Have you watched any more of Strangers from Hell?
We only saw 1 episode so far.
1 episode? Okay.
Yeah. It's more so just like kind of hard to get Andrew to sit for a drama. Because I could
you
watch
need to, like, bribe him
pretty quickly. Yeah. So I'll try again this weekend and see.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Do you want to start?
Sure. President Jung is in Danbam, and he's with his whole crew. He and Seroyi have a little standoff, but Seroyi makes the staff conduct business as usual. He welcomes him and says he's been wanting to meet him or whatever. President Jung makes Gunsu feel bad for working at Danbam, and President Jung orders a bunch of food, slurps it down. I don't like when people slurp that much, but he slurps it down.
Yeah, I know you don't.
There's a lot of slurping.
There's a lot
of slurping in this show. For those of you who don't know, which is like all of you, I have the issue of like, I forget what it's called, but basically like certain sounds, they just like, they make my eye twitch, like constant chewing or slurping, or even sometimes just like a keyboard typing, like typing aggressively or like a whole lot. It's like, it's too much for my brain somehow. And I really
you like hate ASMR?
Yeah, I guess so. I kind of just get like fixated on a sound and it starts to drive me crazy. And I can't stop thinking about that sound. But food does it quite a bit. But he's slurping. Thankfully, it's not for a long time, but it's a big old slurp. But he's also an asshole. And he tells everyone that they basically have nothing to worry about because the food isn't really that good. It looked pretty good to me, though. And he kind of ate everything, I think.
Yeah, he's gross.
Yeah. They exchange...
Not for eating everything. That's not gross, but
just his personality and the way he went about the situation. Right. They exchange some more words, and then Seroyi stands up to him again and tells him that he'll make him pay for all the shitty things that he's done, you know, going back to his dad, yada yada. Seroyi meets up with Hojin to talk about what just happened, and then we see a flashback of when Hojin and Seroyi first teamed up and became friends, and this happened when Seroyi was in prison. Hojin seems cautious, but he and Seroyi clearly trust each other and want to work together to do this. Then we get another flashback, and this time they're meeting Minjung, and Seroyi makes a deal with her that if he can get President Jang to come to his bar, she'll agree to team up with him. And he wants her to inherit Janga. Because I guess ultimately, like, put her in power, get them out, fuck them over, make sure they have nothing.
I think, like, his main thing is not, like, about Janga the company. It's, like, specifically...
the people.
Yeah, like President Jang and Gunwon. So...
yeah.
Yeah, because at first I was like, why are you, like, trying to put them in a good position to, like... Because clearly she's super confident, but then I was like, okay, I guess he doesn't care about, like...
how the company does.
Per se. It's more the people who are in charge.
Yeah, he wants them to be like completely out of that business with nothing. Which I think is like a really good plan and like one of the worst things ever, because that guy built that company from nothing. So to suddenly like lose it all, and then for his Richie son who thinks he can get whatever he wants to suddenly realize that his family business is done for, that's like a huge fuck you.
Yeah, totally.
he'll have to get a real job somewhere else. That's not with his dad.
But who would hire him?
Exactly. Yeah. No one, I feel like, would be able to stand him. In the present day, Seo-yi and Hojin meet Minjung, and she agrees to keep her end of the deal. She has made the full investment in Janga and agrees to partner with Seo-yi to take down the president and Gunwan. She doesn't like either of them, really. But it turns out that President Jang had someone follow her, of course, and he now has pics of her shaking hands with Seo-yi. When the camera light kind of went out and it showed them shaking hands, like full body, and it was kind of like far away, I was like, "Huh, who's watching them? Who's seeing this?"
I thought the same thing.
Ugh. It happens later on, too, with another woman. I'm like, well, of course this happened. God damn it. Okay, so the two of them have an awkward meeting as Minjung suggests that the president already considered replacing Gunwan with someone more qualified. President Jang says he trusts her and she reciprocates, but when she leaves, we see him being all upset, looking at the pics of her and Seo-yi. So she's kind of like having different meetings, and she's kind of playing the role with President Jang of like, I'll always be by your side, and you've helped me a lot along the way. I trust you, you trust me. It's similar to Suwa, except she is kind of backstabbing him. And Suwa really isn't.
I feel like with that meeting, Minjung was almost like, just do it yourself. Like, you fucking retire and get rid of Gunwan, and like, all this will be way easier.
Yeah.
Obviously, she didn't say it like that, but it was kind of like hinty hint.
Yeah,
get rid of Gunwan. I'm like very intrigued by their dynamic, and I'm like very team Minjung moving forward.
Absolutely.
So back at the bar, Yiso is all grumpy. These are not good episodes for Yiso. I'm gonna be honest.
No, not a good look for her.
No,
she shows her age in these episodes.
Yeah, totally.
Her immaturity.
So, yeah, 100%. Yiso is super grumpy because she doesn't know everything about Seo-yi's life. Like, girl, why would you? You're being ridiculous. And because he like goes off and he tells the rest of the crew to close up while he goes to run an errand. And she's like, let me go with you. And he's like, no, it's fine. So Gunsu tries to ask Yiso about his family because, she hinted, like, you don't even know what your family did, blah, blah, blah. But at this point, she's annoyed and won't tell him. So we go back to Janga, and we see President Chang getting mad at Gunwan for blowing money on the Best Pub show, which is the show that Yiso got them a spot on. And
what we talked about
apparently,
last episode.
Yeah. Apparently, Gunwan spent quite a bit of money paying off the producers to, remove Tanbam from the show. Of course, I'm like, Gunwan is such a fucking idiot, man. President Chang explains that by paying them off and, like, having to pay to get those people removed, you're only legitimizing their position in the industry.
And how you're scared of them. You're scared of their success.
Yeah, totally. And Gunwan's like, oh, like, he's so dumb. And, like, President Jang is, like, of course, being even more of an asshole and, like, hitting him. And then he kind of hints that Gunwan might not be the right successor for the company. Like, immediately after that, while, like, the wounds are still fresh, emotional wounds, Gunsu kind of passes Gunwan in the hallway outside President Jang's office. And they exchange words, and Gunwan eventually hits Gunsu because
that's what he does.
That's what he does. Like, he takes out his emotional trauma on his younger brother.
Like father, like son hitting.
Exactly. And I'm like, not my baby. I don't know why I have such, like, a fondness for Gunsu. I just do. It's weird. Anyway, so he gets hit. And he's kind of like, whatever. I only know you're hitting me because you're scared. And then Gunwan actually looks scared again. Like, he
always has that
actor makes
face.
very good scared faces.
I don't like him at all. God.
I know. He was on Running Man with the girl that plays Hyunyi. And he was actually, like, likable on Running Man. And he was likable in the other shows I've seen him in. But I'm like, God, you're so hateable. So, Gunsu meets with President Jang. And he pressures Gunsu to give up working at Tanbam and just go study abroad. Which is kind of, like, another fuck you to Gunsu. Because it's, like, it's not like, I want you to come work here. Like,
I want you to go away.
It's more like, exactly, just get out of here. Go away. Stop, like, ruining things. Because I'm like, if you really want to Gunsu back, you should have, like, made him feel important to Changga. Like, even if you didn't mean it, like, at least try to make him want to leave Tanbam. But this basically just makes Gunsu's, I guess, allegiance to Tanbam even stronger. And he is like, you know what, F you, like, I know you guys did some terrible things to Seirui, and I'm scared to ask him because I know our family was probably the ones who were, like, the bad people. And then President Jang basically tells Gunsu everything, and then he has that, like, classic fucking sociopath, you know, it's the winners who write, which is true. The winners do write history, which is fucked up. But anyway, and he was like, I wasn't the bad guy. You know why? Because I won. And only the good guys win. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And then,
in fairy tales,
Gunsu was like, obviously, like, Gunsu is horrified. And he's like, you know what, Seirui, stronger than you think. And, like, I'm going to fight. And bye. Yeah, that was it.
Suwa and Seirui meet up, and they're talking about same old stuff again. How Suwa feels working for Changga, and that Seirui still likes her because she's confident in herself. Yada yada yada. Same story over and over.
I know, they're getting boring.
Do something
those two together.
or separate. I don't care. I just want I want the drama of these two companies. That's what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in any, like, romance in this show at all. Back at Danbam, the crew runs into a problem when they realize that Tony can't actually speak English. He never claimed to. All he ever said was, I'm Korean. My dad's Korean.
And I think the only word he said in English was cool. If I recall, because I think they start speaking English to him, or Yiso does, or something.
They're speaking, like, broken English to tell him that they're not open yet, and he looks at them confused.
Exactly. Like, why did you think he spoke English?
Yeah, he does not speak English back to them. He speaks Korean back to them when they start talking to him in English. Like, I don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah.
Very strange. But they realize, no, he does not speak English. And then they worry that if Yiso finds out, she'll fire him. So they're kind of pushing him to learn English. Which is like, okay, yeah, let him just take a 5-minute course and he'll be totally set. It's not really how it works, guys. I guess he could learn, like, English words related to a pub and kind of get that set. I don't know, just have that vocabulary.
I like how he's like, I'm fluent in French. And they're like, okay.
He's really funny. I want more of Tony.
Yeah, me too.
Yiso and Gunsu talk about Yiso's feelings for Seirui, and she keeps Gunsu hanging on, but saying that she's not totally in love with him, and that Gunsu could have a shot later on. Kind of like, hint, hint, wink, wink, do what I want.
Yeah, like, oh, if you come, she says, if you become, like, the president of Changga, like, maybe you'll have a chance, like, if you're super fucking rich.
And he gets excited, and then she, like, laughs.
Yeah, she, like, laughs in his face, and he's like, ugh.
She's like, really shitty.
Really Find a nice girl.
Yeah.
Find a nice girl that treats you right.
Get the number of those girls again that wanted to call you. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's a cutie. He wouldn't have any problem finding a nice girl, I would think. But anyway. my adult son, who's only like, what, 7 years younger than me, probably
yeah.
8 years younger than me. So Iso gets all upset again when Seiroi leaves, and she's like, what are you doing? Like, why? You're supposed to be here. And I'm like, dude, you're the manager. Like,
he's the boss.
He's just the owner. He can do what he wants. But yeah, so he leaves because he's like, I have another errand to run. And she forces herself into his plan. She basically just chases him.
Yeah.
And it's, again, like, not great, looking very immature and desperate.
Mm-hmm.
And the crew back at Tanbam are, like, starting to get suspicious of Yiso's feelings for him. I like how Tony's like, what's going on here? Like, there's something fishy going on.
Yeah.
I like how he's the one that points it out. And the others are like, what? Like, I guess. Like, really? Tony's only been here for, like, 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And he already sees it. So Iso and Seiroi take a long bus ride to Pajin. I think I pronounced that right. Which is where Seiroi and his dad moved at the beginning of the show, like where he met Gunwan, that town. So he can confront the detective who covered up his dad's case. And Seiroi tells Iso all about his past on the bus ride, and she, like, starts falling in love with him, and she talks about how she just listened to him, like, tell his story, and, like, she never usually listens to people because she's a shitty person, and blah, blah, blah.
Conceited.
So Seiroi tries to get the detective to turn himself in so everyone will know that Kunwan actually murdered Seiroi's dad, but the detective is too afraid since he has a daughter. And he's like, I need to look out for her. Also, so now I'm, like, thinking about how he said, I have 6 years because of the statute of limitations. So maybe he's saying he still has 6 years to, like... Because I thought he was saying, like, I need to wait 6 years.
Yeah. That's what I thought, too. And I was like, what?
But, yeah, but maybe it kind of, like, the way the subtitles were worded was, like...
That makes more sense.
Incorrect. Yiso and Seiroi have a moment when... I did not like this scene.
Yeah.
Yiso and Seiroi have a moment when Yiso cuddles up to Seiroi and starts crying over his scars, and she realizes she loves him. And I did appreciate how Seiroi is like, what are you doing? When she, like, whatever, makes her advances towards him. But... I don't want to sound like a total Yiso hater, but I was just like, come on, girl. Like, stop. I get that you're probably, like, overcome with emotion hearing this dude's story, and obviously you like him, but she's just, I don't know, I sound like a prude, which I'm not, but I'm like, she's just, like, so forward about everything, and I'm like, you need to play it cool, like, you need to chill. And that's probably just my personality.
And usually
because I'm, like, super passive-aggressive.
Usually she is pretty cool about everything.
Yeah.
But not this.
I guess... I guess that's, like, maybe supposed to make us realize, like, how much she actually cares for Seiroi. But I'm like, oh, it's just kind of cringy, because I just... And I think... I don't want to speak for, like... a blanket statement about all Korean dramas, but I just am not a big fan of, like, huge age gaps. And I know theirs isn't, like, humongous, but it's still, like, he's pretty significantly older than her. And he hasn't, like, done anything with her yet, and he's still, like, I think pretty respectful of that. But I'm like, just don't. Yiso, stop.
Well, yeah, but he's still in love with Suha, so
yeah,
that's all he thinks about.
Totally.
I feel like I was going to say something about that whole moment. Oh, I wonder how much the gardener or whatever who took the fall got paid. And if he's worth talking to.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll come back later.
Yeah, because obviously he didn't do anything at all. And I'm sure they paid him. Or did something to, like, let him take the fall, have him take the fall for it. I don't know. But I guess if you're, like, confronting everyone to try to get the truth out, you should try to confront the person who had to take the fall for fucking murder.
Yeah.
Manslaughter, whatever it would be considered. I don't know.
I don't know. Part of me feels like the cop or the detective or whatever he was. I was just wondering, like, because he made it seem like he would go to jail if he came clean, which, like, maybe they would in Korea. I don't know. Cops in America, we all know we have issues.
Yeah.
So maybe they would, like, be harshly punished, but I was just wondering, like, why couldn't he just speak to a journalist, like, off the record, or not?
That's what I was thinking,
you know,
too.
I want to have my anonymity, but, like, this happened, and
because he must have actual evidence of it being Gunwan and how it wasn't the gardener. He must have that information. So if I was him, I would just, like, anonymously send it to a reporter or something and, like, tell the story of what happened versus, like, going somewhere and telling the truth.
Right. Or, like, just make copies and give it to Seiroi and be like, I still, you know, like, I've been threatened. I need to look out for my daughter because I'm her only parent. But, like, hopefully you can make what you can, like, make use of this information, this evidence. Yeah, but he's like, I can't do anything.
For a second, it seemed like he was caving and was about to. But then, no, it didn't happen. Which is really shitty.
Yeah. I feel like at some point it will come out. We just have to, like, wait and see, but yeah.
I feel like that'll be, like, an episode 15 thing.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Because it's, like, I think the biggest thing is him getting justice for his dad.
Yeah.
So that's probably gonna be a while. Sua, the next day, it seems, goes to borrow ice at Danbam, and it just seems like you're reaching for reasons to go over there. Why do you need ice at this specific place? I don't know. Didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
But she goes, and Seiroi announces that they have a new building owner, and their rent is increasing. So they're all looking through the contract confused. Sua actually reviews it, trying to help and find a loophole. But the crew at Danbam will need to find a new place, is what she kind of figures out at the end. Then Seiroi is like, I'll just call the new owner and talk things over, and hopefully we can, like, figure something out. Like, it should be totally fine. And he calls him, and he's all happy, and I already fucking knew what was going to happen. Of course, it's President Zhang. And it's like, well, of course, the fucking richest person who has all these other locations and businesses is going to buy your little place because he's an asshole. Yeah. And then the episode ends when he realizes who it is, and his face is, like, shook for the gods. He's like, no words.
I like how he was like, hey, like, I'm Park Seiroi, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, it's me. And he's like, who? Like, how did you not immediately think?
I know.
It's only your arch nemesis.
God.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's just keep going, because it, like, basically immediately goes to 8. So President Chang invites Seiroi to Janga to talk things over, even though he's, like, evil cackling on the phone, because he's like, ha ha ha, you should come meet me, we'll talk things over. Yeah. After the phone call, Seiroi kind of confirms, like, fucking President Chang screwed us over again. And so Yiso lashes out at Sua and poor Gunsu. And she's like, fuck both of y'all. Like, you because you're his son, you because you, like, still work for him. And then Seiroi, like, yells at her, and he's like, hey, you need to calm down. Like, you're about to cross a line. And then Yiso storms out and, like, fucking throws a fit with Sua's ice bucket and just, like... It's, again, she just seems so immature in these episodes.
Yeah.
Like,
has he already pulled off her name tag?
No, like, that's later on.
Okay.
I think that we're, like, building towards that.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah. So Sua goes back to Janga and Gunwan tries to talk, like the Jangga pub, not the headquarters.
Yeah.
And Gunwan tries to ask her on a date, but she rejects him. And he asks if it's because of Seroyi, because remember, Gunwan is like super stoked because he's like, I can marry her if she will have me.
If she will have me. Gross.
Yeah, no. She makes it very clear. She says, no, it's not because of Seroyi. It's because of Ajashi, which is Seroyi's dad. The one you hit with your car and killed. He was like a father to me, so please stop hitting on me.
And again, like, he's got his dumb, shocked face.
Yeah.
Every fucking time.
She made it so clear.
He's always,
like, yes.
He's always ready to, like, talk shit and be this, like, big, tough dude. But immediately someone, like, comes at him and he has no words. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Never fails.
It's crazy.
Seroyi goes to Jangga, and the meeting with President Jang is a complete mess. And basically, President Jang tries to gloat about what he just did and says that he'll buy out every building in town to make sure Seroyi can't have his own pub. Then he brings up Gunsu and says that Seroyi should let him go. They exchange words, a lot of back and forth, things about power and kneeling again. This guy, again, really loves people kneeling before him, like he's a fucking god or something. But Seroyi finally just says that what he wants isn't money. And his strength and power comes from people and their bonds and trust. And he tells President Jang that their story will only end once he is kneeling and receiving punishment for all of his sins.
Like, yes.
Yep.
Because I think that's the thing, too, with like, richy people, like, evil billionaires or whatever. It's like they can't fathom that people would value people over money. Like, it's... when he said that and President Jang looked, like, shocked, I was like, oh, yeah, of course. Like, he didn't get it. Even consider, that Seroyi's not doing this for money.
And
he's doing it.
Seroyi didn't hire Gunsu to get back at him. He hired him because he liked him and trusted him. Yeah. Goodness. Yeah, I liked that. I like Seroyi a lot. Yeah. So far. Yeah, definitely. He's pretty, like, cool-headed and... Yeah. He thinks things over. He plans. Treats people well and fairly. Yeah.
So I liked this scene. Suwa confronts President Jang about his behavior and calls him out on being so emotional. Because she's like... But he's already in a pissed off mood because I guess this is maybe right after his meeting with Seroyi. But she kind of tells him, like, hey, I know you've made some unconventional decisions in the past, but they've always, like, benefited the company. And I feel like right now you're being too focused on Seroyi and not thinking about, like, the company overall. And he basically yells at her and just kicks her out. And he's like, whatever, like, I know what I'm doing. But she's totally right. I mean, like, he literally says he would buy every building to make sure Seroyi can't have a pub. Like, how many, probably millions, billions of dollars, maybe not billions, but, like, millions are you spending? Like, I know that was kind of an exaggeration, but, like, he is totally focused on Seroyi, and he's, like, totally not, like, he can't beat us, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, he is so obsessed with him right now.
Yeah, I feel like in his eyes, it would take, like, maybe 2 or 3 locations to totally screw him up and for it to be impossible for him to open up another business. But 2 or 3 locations, like, that's a ton of money to have to buy into a building. Like, what are you then going to do with those buildings? And, like, if you turn them into restaurants or pubs or whatever, like, are they actually going to last? Or are they just going to fail because you're not going to be able to put in the correct amount of effort and time and money into them like you do your other stuff? Yeah. Not very well thought out.
I don't know. No, not at all.
Yiso continues to be a terrible person to Gunsu. And Seroyi notices at their company dinner. And on their way to the club, Seroyi and Gunsu have a little heart-to-heart, and Gunsu apologizes for all the shitty things that his family has done to him. Seroyi tells Gunsu that he hired him because Gunsu reminded him of what he was younger, and he looked like he needed someone to lean on, and he thought that Danbam could be that for Gunsu. And then they hug it out. Mm-hmm. And I definitely see, like, a lot of parallels between people in this show.
Mm-hmm.
Even, like, sometimes Suwa and Gunsu, in terms of, like, yeah, he was rich and came from a rich family, but he also didn't have anyone. And neither did she, you know? And they both had to kind of figure out how to, like, work for themselves and do things for themselves. And then there's also, like, Gunsu and Seroyi not really having anyone and needing, like, a figure to sort of lean on.
Yeah.
There's just, like, little similarities between people throughout the show.
Yeah, and then being both kind of, like, sensitive and, like, looking out for people. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I didn't write this down, but I thought it was so funny how they were talking about, like, going to the club at their team dinner, and Seungkwan was trying to teach Tony how to, like, approach girls
the exact same way.
Yeah. And Seroyi just tells him to sit down, like, stop. And Tony looks so excited. He's like, okay, yeah, let's do it. So cute.
This club fun does not really happen, though, unfortunately. They go to a racist club, and the bouncer won't let Tony in because he's African, and Tony keeps insisting, like, I'm Korean, though. I'm Korean. And his Korean is, like, amazing. But the bouncer doesn't believe him, and Hyun-yi and Seungkwan jump to Tony's defense, but Yiso is just, like, really rude and points out that Tony can't be Korean because of his dark skin. And Tony tears up, and he just, like, yells again, like, I'm Korean, and he calls her mean, and he runs away, and it's really shitty, and everyone looks at her like, what the fuck, Yiso? God damn.
Yeah.
And
I wrote down, fuck Yiso.
Like, in these episodes.
Yes.
And at that same point, as he runs out, Seroyi and Gunsu are walking in, and Yiso fills them in on the situation. Zero sympathy towards Tony or what just happened. And Seroyi tells her off, and Gunsu just doesn't know what to do about her or the situation. Everyone's uncomfortable. Everyone's in a bad mood. The whole, like, team dynamic is totally shit right now. It sucks. And then the next morning... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no. Oh, well, I was just going to say, like, I feel like Hyun-yi and Seungkwan are just kind of like, what the fuck is happening? And poor Gunsu is just having, like, an identity and emotional crisis. And, yeah, like you said, everything is just, like, up in the air.
Yeah,
kind of fucked because they still don't have a location.
Yeah. Seungkwan and Hyun-yi have literally no idea about anything. Like, all it seems that they know is that President Jang is Gunsu's dad, and he ended up buying the business for some reason, or the building. But they don't know, like, anything about anything. It's crazy. Yeah. So the next morning, we see that someone, Seroyi, has tagged the club's entrance, calling them racist, and everyone's kind of, like, smiling and like, fuck yeah. Meanwhile, Hojin and Minjung are concerned about Seroyi's plan since he won't give up owning a bar even though it's causing him more trouble than its monetary value. And I think what they were thinking is that he could just go ahead and sell, get what he can from it, and then put that money into, like, stocks and stuff again and build it up before he does anything. But he's already told them, like, no, I'm gonna keep this pub.
Yeah, I think Minjung says something like, well, he can come work for me. And I don't know exactly what she meant by that, because I think she even said, like, he can come work for one of my companies or something. So, like, maybe she just meant, like, she has an in for him. Yeah. Somewhere. But, yeah, like, they have options for him other than running the bar.
Yeah, he's very stubborn in that the bar is where it's at. That's where I'm going to stay. And I think that goes back to his dad, too. And his dad wanting to open that place and not being able to. But Seroyi thinks about everything and says he has a new plan. He meets with Minjung and tells her he needs to pull his money out of Jangga and explains that the pub is so important because of the people in it. And she's kind of just like, okay, I guess, whatever. It's your money.
Yeah, I think she says something like that he reminds her of his dad or something, so that's nice.
Yeah, she gets like a little flashback of her dad saying like, of his dad saying like, what's a business without the people in it? And, like, the people need to trust you, and you need to be able to trust them in order for things to actually work.
Yeah. So, back at the bar, Yiso continues to be mean to baby Gunsu until he reveals that his dad will leave them alone if he leaves Sanbam and follows his dad's orders. And everyone... So, like, after that, Yiso is, like... grinning ear to ear, and she was like, oh, okay.
Just leave then.
Yeah. And everyone is worried about Tony since he hasn't been showing up to work since the incident at the club, which, again, like, he's probably really hurt and embarrassed, like, understandable. Seungkwan presses Yiso to apologize to Tony because she was, like, an awful bitch. But then Suwa comes in to return beer. And I'm like you said, they're just thinking of ways to get her in this bar.
Yeah.
And I'm like, in what universe does it make sense that Jangga, like, again, the Chili's of this area, runs out of beer before this tiny independent pub?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. She comes to return the beer. So she's kind of just there. And then Seroyi comes in after his meeting or whatever with Minjung. And Yiso is immediately like, Gunsu has something to tell you. And I hate how she puts Gunsu on the spot like that. Like,
he looks really uncomfortable.
So, yeah. Again, so immature. It was very much read like a younger sibling or like mom or dad comes in and they're like, guess what this person did? Or something like that. So Gunsu, like we said, is totally put on the spot. And he tells Seroyi that he wants to quit Danbam. But Seroyi asks him to stay if the only reason he wants to quit is because of his family. And Yiso interjects because she's like, no, like, he needs to quit. And she explains that Gunsu promised to get President Jang to leave them alone if he quits. And she explains that they can run the pub easily without Gunsu and save a lot of money and trouble by not having to move. So she's, like, being very cold and calculated by saying, like, look, Gunsu isn't that special. Like, we can hire another person, but by him leaving, like, it'll be so much easier for everyone.
Yeah, and this is totally her, like, mirroring President Jang, too.
Yes.
And, like, coldness in terms of, like, employees and company and managing and stuff.
Yeah, because, like, to her, people are all expendable. And, I mean, she's even said that earlier. Like, she only makes friends or, like, talks to people who can benefit her in some way.
Yeah.
Like, tangibly, not emotionally. And, yeah, so Seroyi asks her, like, okay, well, what do you think we should do as the manager? And she, like, very confidently supports the idea that Gunsu should quit. And she's like, well, obviously, like, we should fire him. Yes, like, he should leave. And then Seroyi, like, gets really pissed and rips off her name tag in front of everyone. And I was like, oh, shit. And then they get into a big fight. He tells her that she doesn't deserve to be a manager. And she points out that they'll never beat Jangga if he treats the business like a family. And they, like, keep going back and forth, saying the same things, like he's too sensitive, blah, blah, blah. And it basically ends with Yiso telling him that he's responsible with coming up with realistic alternatives if they can't get rid of Gunsu. Because, like, he's the owner. And she tells him, like, I bet my life on you. And, like, you need to be able to lead us just, like, not into the ground just because you're emotional. Which, I mean, she kind of has a point in that, like, you can't just hold on to everybody and think, like, oh, we'll work it out. It's fine.
Because people are relying on this company succeeding.
Exactly. But also, she didn't really give him a chance to be like, I have a plan. She was just immediately like, fire Gunsu. So, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of what she's saying makes sense. It's just more of like her delivery and her coolness towards the situation, not really giving a shit about other people. Even though it seems like she kind of does. It's like a weird sort of, she doesn't know how she's saying things.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Totally. Yeah, I think, like, she doesn't know how to save face.
Yeah.
Like, she just says stuff and people's feelings be damned. Like, whatever. So, Seirui is like, hey, I have a plan. It's realistic, and I'm going to buy a building.
And everyone's like, what?
Yeah. And then I think he storms out because he's like, fuck all y'all. Like, I'm buying a building. I can't deal with this right now. So Yiso can't believe it, but Suwa tells her that Seirui never lies and never says stuff that he doesn't mean or go through with. So she's like, hey, let's go get some coffee. And they end up talking about Seirui. So Suwa gives Yiso advice that she shouldn't try to change Seirui if he's going to be on his side, and that she should support him and realize it's his mission to do things differently from President Jang. Because I think Seirui even says that, like, if I was going to be like President Jang and just, like, fire people because they get in my way, like, what's the point? Like, what's the difference? And Yiso tries to be defiant and tells Suwa that she doesn't understand Seirui, and Suwa confirms, and she's like, you're right, I don't understand him, like, I don't agree with his methods, which is why I'm not on his side. And at that moment, I kind of respected Suwa, because I was like, I mean, she has a point. Like, it's not like she's like, I'm in love with him and I get him and you just don't understand. She's like, no, like, I understand him more as a person, or, like, I get what he's doing, but, like, I don't agree with it, or, like, I can't empathize with it. So that's why, like, I haven't quit Janga, and, like, I'm not 100% Team Seirui or whatever. And then Suwa gets up and leaves and reminds Yiso that she hasn't given up on Seirui and still believes in his feelings for her. And I think she calls her, like, little one or cutie or something kind of, like, demeaning.
Yeah, she does not like that.
Yeah. But I was like, I don't know. I just have mixed feelings about everyone, basically. Well, I guess just those two women. Like,
yeah.
They have their high points and their low points, both of them.
Yiso runs to Gunsu's apartment. She apologizes, and he acts pretty coldly towards her, which is a first, it seems. She tries to be really cute and sweet, and then she cuts the crap and tells him that she only came to apologize because she's in love with Seirui and wants to be on his good side now. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, bitch.
It's fine if you're doing that. You don't need to say it. Like, that just causes more tension and awkwardness. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, it would be one thing if she was like, look, Gunsu, I know you have feelings for me, but I don't, like, I'm really in love with Seirui. Like, that's all she had to say. Just be like, I'm sorry, like, I think you're a good person, whatever. But she's like, no, the only reason I'm coming here is because I want Seirui to think I'm a good person. Like, what?
She does not make you a good person.
No.
We then cut to Tony trying to get family records about his father, but he's having a really hard time because the only proof that he has is a family photo of him and his dad. Then, back at the bar, the crew reads a post that Yiso published on her blog, blasting the club for discriminating against Tony. Tony shows up, and they start talking about whether he's Korean or not, same thing. And Yiso tells Tony that she'll help him find his father so that he can become a Korean citizen. She also apologizes for not taking his side at the bar, and Seirui looks proud of Yiso and puts the name tag back on her, and everyone at Donbam seems happy except for Gunsu.
Poor Gunsu. I like how Tony is like, my stomach hurts, even though he's getting, like, emotionally, like, happy. I'm like, man, he cries. He's a crier.
Very emotional. The Danbam crew moves into their new location, and President Jung and Gunwon are shocked when they learn that they can't buy the building because Seo-yi already owns it. So in order to buy it, they'll have to buy it from him, and that's not going to happen. I don't know why they thought that this wouldn't be an option for him. Like, they know how much money he has, considering how much he's invested. Like, I don't know, these people.
It's because, like, they're so narcissistic that they think they're the only ones that maybe could come up with a good idea or like, have money to buy a building. Yeah. I don't know.
They're shitty.
They're dumb.
Seo-yi starts to worry when an old lady loan shark comes by and tells them, like, oh, you bought this business? You bought this one? Poof, good luck. Every location, every place has failed at this location. Here's my card. Not cool.
Yeah. I know. I'm like, I wonder how she will come into play.
But she's just doing her job too, I guess. I don't know. But they're still getting things ready. They're excited to open again and do the thing. At the same time, Minjung meets up with Seo-yi and they agree to keep their partnership up even though he had to remove his investment from her side. She tells him that he reminds her of his father again, and they talk about his goal of having enough power so that his words mean something and that no one can mess with him or the people he cares about.
Yeah, I liked how Minjung was like, dude, it's fine. Like, you didn't even have that much money.
Yeah.
I think she's like, you only had 1%, so
it's not a big deal.
Yeah. So Suwa and Seo-yi meet up again, and they talk about his new location and the business. Seo-yi brings up how much he needs... Suwa brings up how much Seo-yi needs Yiso, and he confirms, saying he can't imagine Danbam without her. And then we cut to Janga, and fucking Yiso is walking through the door at President Jung's office, and we're like, what's going on? The end of episode.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna bet that it's not what it seems. And she's, like, I feel like they're gonna try to want to buy her, like I said a couple episodes ago, to hire her to work for them because she is really smart and she is very talented and knows how to make a business, like, really well and something that people actually want to go to. And I think they're gonna try to get her. But I feel like she's not going to budge with them.
Yeah.
Or she's going to try to, like, fuck them over.
Yeah, if she'll do some, like, double agent stuff. But one would think that they would be very suspicious of her. Yeah. Because, I mean, she's, like, I don't know.
I guess they also don't know that she's, like, completely obsessed and in love with Seo-yi either.
That's true. I guess Suwa they probably only think, like... But yeah, she's like a young girl that like could be swayed with money and
money and power. Which I think she could, but she seems to try to change in order to get Seo-yi to notice her and like her. Because I don't think she would have made that blog post otherwise.
Totally. Which I'm like, so she's still racist, or what's the deal with that?
I don't know.
Is she just pretending not to be racist so Seo-yi will like her? I mean, she hired Tony, but
I don't think she's racist. She just doesn't really care about other people being racist.
Yeah.
Which I guess kind of, I don't know. It's like
she's not full on racist. She's just like, kind of like
complacent with what's happening. Like, this is just what happens. Oh well, whatever. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like, if it's not affecting her, like, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's get into fashion, because I thought there were a lot of pretty good looks in this. My first one is Min Jung's coat with, like, the built-in scarf thing. I don't know if you noticed that. It was, like, a camel color, I guess. Yeah. And I don't know. I'm just, like, obsessed with Min Jung, and I'm like, I just want to look super cool and classy and still stylish when I get old. Which I guess she's not even really that old. I think they say she's like in her 40s, but and then Yiso had like a cute houndstooth. I said that weird. Houndstooth cape thing that was like belted.
I wrote that one down too. I put jacket question mark because I couldn't tell like what specifically it was, but it just looked cool.
Yeah. And then I thought Seiri like cleaned up very well. He looked really good when he went to meet President Chang. In his like coat and turtleneck or whatever.
Yeah, there was one point where he's in like an all black outfit. I don't remember where it was, but I liked that look a lot. And then Suwa had like some really cool big sunglasses.
Oh yes,
I think it was the first episode that these two.
Yeah.
And then Tony's cool half plaid, half black jacket. I love a half jacket. Those are always fun. And then Minjung had like a weird like earring / necklace set. Like they were connected. Yes. The earrings were connected to like the back of a necklace. Like it was weird looking. Yeah. It was interesting.
It almost looked like the things like you put on glasses, like a glasses chain, but on her ears instead.
Yeah. I couldn't tell like if I liked it or if I thought it was weird, but I was interested in it definitely.
Yeah, me too. Also, this just continues my obsession with Gunsu, but I guess he just has that like very I guess trendy young person Korean just sweaters and jeans and like cool sneakers or whatever, but I'm like I feel like that look just suits him super well.
He had one pullover a couple episodes ago that just said bagel, and I thought that was really funny.
That's funny.
Does Alex know your love and obsession with Gunsu? Because I feel like he wouldn't like it.
No, but it's more like a motherly love, so I think he'd be okay with it. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Alex gets his feelings hurt if I show interest in any other person that's not him.
Yeah, I feel like Alex would just get jealous if you're talking so much about sweet baby Gunsu.
Yeah, I was saying, like, I just think that my feeling towards him are not in any way, like, sexual. I just want to make sure, like, he is protected from this cruel, harsh world. Like, I just want to take him under my wing, even though I'm pretty sure he's taller than me. Yeah. And be like, it's okay, we'll protect you. I don't know why. He kind of played a similar character in Sky Castle, like just very earnest and like wanting to do well. But yeah, I don't know. Alex doesn't listen, so we'll probably never know.
Yeah. And he's not watching either, right?
What?
He's not watching either.
No. He just like kind of comes in and like peeks his head and is like, oh, and then I'm like, so this happened and this, and he was like, oh, okay. And then
yeah, I didn't even tell Andrew about it.
Sometimes Alex is like, you don't have to tell me, it's okay. And I'm like, oh, all right. Do you have an I love you?
I do not. And honestly, I'm not even like paying attention to that right now. I'm more like I want the intense like back and forths and the arguing and the getting back at each other.
Yeah.
I guess instead of I love you moments, I'm looking for like fuck you moments. Like,
okay, well, did you have a fuck you moment?
Well, the big fuck you moment was, it's like the two whatever. So what's his face buying the building and then Seido-i buying the other building. Like it's just like a back and forth sort of fuck you. And that's really exciting to see. I would say those are the two big fuck yous for me.
Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed or it was just very heartfelt when Seido-i and Gunsu had their little heart-to-heart. And I really liked when Seirui is like, well, I hired you because you looked like you could use someone to lean on. And Gunsu is like, I don't need your pity. And he's like, no, it's because you reminded me of myself when I was young and I needed someone to lean on. And I thought we could be here for you. And I was like, oh, because Gunsu has like tears in his eyes. He does need someone.
Seirui is definitely the older brother that Gunsu wishes he had and never had growing up.
I'm wondering, this is kind of like bleeding into predictions corner, but I feel like it was maybe last episode or I don't know when, but like at some point Gunsu is like, yeah, one day my brother got beat up at school and he like really took it out on me. And I'm wondering like if we'll ever like get to see like that Seirui or someone will connect the dots and be like, oh, Seirui was the person who punched Gunwan, who then like hit me. I mean, I don't think he'll hold it against Seirui or anything, but I just thought that was interesting. But for a fuck you moment, you know what? To be honest, I really liked when Seirui ripped off Yusa's name tag, because I'm like, thank you, put her in her place, like. Obviously, like, I don't want that to sound sexist or anything, but she's being a bitch, and I do not appreciate her behavior, because it's, like, racist and mean and everything.
Yeah, I feel like she's someone who's still too young and has always gotten what she wants. And everyone kind of follows her and loves her on social media, so she's always kind of been around that. And kind of has no idea of, like, how to actually connect or interact with people. And she's incredibly, like, childish in terms of, like, an older person that she's infatuated with. I don't know. She just hasn't learned how to be a good human. And I feel like she's never had to learn because she was just, like, popular and cool and is good at everything. Didn't really have to work at stuff.
And her mom was like...
And her mom is really shitty. Like, I don't know.
You are special. You don't need to learn how to be a good person.
Yeah. And I think, like, she needs someone like Seirui to rip the name tag off of her and give her shit so she can finally start to realize what her actions kind of do. And hopefully change as she gets older. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Totally. I feel like there was another moment where I was like, oh shit. But I can't remember. Maybe it was just like when Seirui bought the building. I was like, oh. That is a good... Because I read the Netflix... thing. What is it called? Yeah. Synopsis description. And it was like Seirui like tries to like make a new business venture or some bullshit like that. And I was like, oh, what's he gonna do instead of the pub? But no, it's just like I guess being a building owner to them is a new business venture. Which I guess it technically is, but yeah, I was like, oh, that was like shocking. And also yes. What else? I guess that's it for I love you / fuck you. Do you have any predictions?
Well, I feel like and I hope that Yuso will not be going to Janga, and it's all going to be sort of like an act to give them another fuck you. And gosh, I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the whole like cliffhanger of Yuso walking in could just be a total like watch the next episode and then it kind of like turns into nothing.
Yeah, like they just want to invite her to work for them or something and she's like, no, fuck you.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Never know.
And what else do I think? I feel like that loan shark lady has to come up again somehow.
Yeah,
I don't know
definitely.
How. Again, yeah, I don't know if I have predictions. It's just things like, okay, well, it's more just me like putting the like pictures on the bulletin board. I haven't connected the red string yet.
Yeah, you've maybe like,
but I'm like
circled some faces.
Yeah,
but nothing is like connected yet.
Yes, I'm like, okay, the detective has to like keep being involved somehow, or like that story.
And I still think that one guy in prison is going to show up again. The, like, really cool one, the boss.
Oh, yeah.
I feel
the crime boss?
Yeah, I feel like he's going to play a role. Like, he already went by and first enjoyed the pub, and that's how Seung-kwan started to work for him or whatever. But I feel like he's going to come back again and be an even bigger role. Yeah,
I'm wondering if maybe he'll be involved with the loan shark lady. Because, crime bosses and loan sharks tend to go hand in hand, especially in Korean dramas. I don't know. You know what? I was wondering, like, I guess the the crime boss guy, I forget his name. I guess he was okay with just losing Seung-kwan to Seori. I guess maybe it wasn't, like, an actual gang where it's like...
Yeah, he might have just, like,
you're dead
said,
if you
hey,
leave
guys,
me,
we're going over here. Like, maybe it was just, like, his friends. Not necessarily, like, people he works with, or he works with them, but they're also his friends. I don't know. But he seemed pretty cool, like, not angry. I don't know.
Yeah.
He didn't seem like someone like President Jong who takes everything, like, super personally.
Yeah. Well, I am very excited for the next round of episodes. We're already halfway through the series.
Yeah.
Right? I think is there 16 of these?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm excited.
Oh, yeah. Same.
I'm, like, really upset because I was looking for GIFs on Twitter and I saw some spoiler.
Yeah, that's...
some spoiler GIFs.
That's the problem.
And I was like, I need to stop.
Yeah.
I need to just make my own.
I've thought about it, and then, like, I remembered in the past with, like, other shows where I've gone in and I've been like, well, I shouldn't be looking at this stuff right now. Then I have to, like, stop myself and get out of there.
Yep. I'm like, I guess, guys, I just have to make my own GIFs from now on.
Or your eyes need to be very selective of what they're looking at.
Yeah, I'm like, don't look. Okay. Well, other drama corner. I don't really have any except for Mystic Pop-Up Bar. Again, super cute. It's not like award winning or like, I don't think it will be. It's just kind of like cute, and it has some very like heartfelt moments. But what else? Oh, I started watching Running Man again because I think I go through like phases where I just like binge them and then I like wait a bit and then
you have stuff to binge.
That
makes sense.
It just makes me laugh so much. I don't know if it's dumb, but I've been having kind of a hard time with work and quarantine and just spending a lot of time by myself during the day and working super long hours. But I put on Running Man and I was just like laughing my ass off, and I was like, this is nice. It feels nice to be happy.
That's good.
Yeah. So I'm like, if anyone else is feeling lonely or sad and just needs like to laugh at really stupid stuff that you don't have to think about, Running Man is good.
That's the one.
Funny. Yeah. And they, like I said, like Hyunyi and Gunwan were on a kind of recent episode. So
cool.
That's fun.
Yeah, first episode of Strangers from Hell was pretty good and like weird. A lot of weird characters. But not a whole lot happening right now. Just interesting.
Cool. Well, do we have anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, if you guys are watching anything super good right now that you think we should also be watching, feel free to tweet us at OKDramaPod. We're also on Instagram at OKDramaPodcast and Facebook OKDramaPodcast. Or you can send us an email at contact@okdrama.com or just okdramapodcast@gmail.com. Whatever you want to type in. And we have our new website, okdrama.com. There you can find past episodes and just some, general fun stuff like supporting the show, links. If you do want to buy some cool stuff from Fashion Chingu or Daebak Box, if you use our link, we will get a small commission, and that just helps us pay for fun stuff coming up on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess that is it.
I think so.
Awesome. All right. Well, I guess you guys tweet us and tell us your thoughts on episodes 7 and 8 and have your questions for 9 and 10 for next week. And we will talk to you guys next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Okay, drama.